I was working at a high-profile tech company when one day I found myself caught in the whirlwind of corporate entitlement. A critical project had hit a snag, and I calmly suggested to the CEO's sister that she should call her father to get clarity. Little did I know that simple advice would spark chaos. The CEO's son, arrogant and completely convinced of his own superiority, overheard me and immediately assumed I was undermining him. Before I could explain, he called security, and I was dragged out of the office like a criminal, without even being allowed to grab my personal items, my laptop, my notes, my backpack, all gone. Colleagues stared silently, some with pity, some barely hiding smirks. I was furious, humiliated, but I refused to let this define me. I took a deep breath, reminded myself that skill and persistence matter far more than privilege, and decided to double down on my work elsewhere. Weeks later, the Sun was facing a nightmare. The company's servers began crashing, critical systems froze, and projects ground to a halt. He panicked, calling his father in desperation, but the CEO knew exactly who had the talent to fix the mess. Me. Over the phone, the father screamed for the son to contact me immediately. The son, blinded by pride and too desperate to admit his own incompetence, said, "I fired him. He's gone." I could almost hear the panic in the background as the father lost his temper, demanding accountability. But by that point, I had already joined a competitor company, earning triple the salary, gaining respect, and working with clients who valued my expertise. The son, meanwhile, spiraled into chaos. Every day brought new crises, each one exposing his incompetence, and colleagues who once laughed at me now quietly snickered as his empire began to crumble. Months later, the once entitled heir, who flaunted his wealth and acted untouchable, had lost everything. Luxury cars repossessed, gadgets sold, company perks vanished. And last I heard, he was working at a grocery store, his pride shattered, forced to scrape by while I thrived. The irony was sweet, the satisfaction absolute. All the humiliation, all the mockery, every sneer and laugh had flipped. And I realized that talent, resilience, and persistence always outlast arrogance and entitlement. And sometimes karma has a way of writing the most perfect endings.